back to California Cooking. We have a fun show for you today.
It is one of the most popular bakeries in town, and I can see why. I get to go behind the scenes at Clark Street Bakery and learn how to bake a delicious moist pumpkin bread. Then, it's the ultimate comfort food, and it would be a great meal to make this Halloween. I'm grilling up a patty melt with a tangy apple slaw. And finally, Levi and I are getting in the spirit with an easy Halloween treat.
Nothing is better than warm bread right out of the oven. So when Clark Street Bakery invited me into their kitchen to make a yummy pumpkin bread, I said I'll be right there. Check it out.
Hear me now, rude boys and girls. Welcome to Clark Street Bakery, Echo Park. Really nice to have you guys here. I'd like to show you around a little bit. First, you'll see here we got all of our, pastries and baked goods laid out for display. Why don't you come on back? We'll show you the bakery. On my right here, we've got our pastry station. Right now, they're making Swedish buns. We do them in 3 different flavors: vanilla, cinnamon, and cardamom. Today's also donut day, so we have a couple little stragglers over here. They go pretty quickly. Every Tuesday is donut day at Clark Street Echo Park. You can see like the big bread oven over here, some of the fresh bread that just came out of it. Danish rye bread, whole wheat bread. Our rack oven over here where we bake like buns, pan loaves, pastry. I mean, you're really in the heart of darkness here. You can see all the bakers hard at work, just shaping a bunch of like sourdough bread right now. Here's a bunch of loaves that are pre-shaped. They're just resting for a little bit, and then we're gonna shape them into batards, into longer loaves. Back here we've got Dennis egg washing some pan loaves. Really delicious. Dennis, whatever he does is the best. Right, Dennis? Yeah, exactly, you see? We got some bread that looks like it's ready to go right here. About to pop the top off that. Wow. Jiggle vision. That's the bakery. That's the gist of it.
Hey, Zach.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, welcome to the bakery.
This is a bustling bakery. I love the vibe back here. Everybody's busy and there's bread being baked. You know what though, I have to say, not that you want to judge a book by its cover, but I would look at you and not go, oh, he's a baker.
I haven't gotten dirty today. Hang on, we can change that, watch. There.
Now he's a baker.
Now I'm a baker.
But I think the story behind, so Clark Street, if you were living, or you live in West Hollywood, did live in West Hollywood.
Right.
And you started the business out of your home.
My apartment, yeah.
Was it on Clark Street?
Well, it's called Clark Drive.
Okay.
I just thought street sounded better than drive. But over there in West Hollywood, like by the Ivy, off Beverly and Robertson, yeah.
What started this kind of love of baking and bread?
It was really just a love for food.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. Music didn't work out.
Okay.
And I was like, shoot, I got to get my act together.
Yeah.
Luckily, I had a second passion. For me, I always leaned towards making like passion work, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I couldn't see myself doing like an office job.
Yeah.
And so I just dove into it. Started at the bottom, started working as a busboy late in my 20s.
Okay.
Worked my way up through the back of house, moved to the front of house. And along the way, just by luck, stumbled upon bread. And it stuck, and that's what I went with.
Was there a bread along the way that kind of set you apart and made Clark Street bread a thing?
I mean, it was a couple things. One, it was sourdough bread that I was obsessed with. And for the first 2 years, I really only made sourdough bread. But then also there were some figures who I found really inspiring.
Right.
I always mention Jim Leahy from Sullivan Street Bakery in New York because of his book. He had this book called My Bread, New York Times bestseller, which really made it easy for people without experience to make great bread.
So now the bakery it started maybe with a great sourdough, and now as I look out there in this beautiful glass case full of all these amazing baked goods.
Well, now we're making donuts.
Yes!
So it's kind of full circle.
What kind of donuts?
Well, it's a kind of like a traditional French brioche dough. If we have sourdough on hand, we'll just chuck in a little piece. You can't really tell the difference either way, but it gives it a little bit more flavor. But at first when I started the business, I would have been like, donuts, are you kidding me? Only like the purest baguette and croissant and sourdough. Now I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Whatever's fun, whatever people like, that's what we want to make.
Does anything make you happier than like a good
I get scared. When people are hungry for their pastries, I duck. I just toss them.
Look up. I think this is such a cute spot too, where you're located right here. I know you have 4 locations. More to come?
We'll see, If it keeps going well, then I'm interested to open more.
Yeah.
We just opened the Brentwood one last Saturday, and so I'm still exhausted and need to focus on that.
I also heard that other well-known restaurants in town want your bread. in their restaurants?
Yeah, we started the business doing wholesale, you know, before we had like a physical location, and that's grown over time. So we sell bread to restaurants. We provide bread for restaurants also.
And you're amazing bakers up at 3 a.m. You said just like the news business, you guys are up burning the midnight oil. You too?
Not 3, 6 now for me. But yeah, I mean, I'd say that's probably the most difficult part about the business, is the just getting up when it's still dark outside, having to eat dinner and go to sleep earlier. Realistically, I think that's the most difficult part about it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good, you know, it can be tiring and it can be stressful, and multitasking is stressful, you know, but that's really it. Everything else is pretty cool about it.
This time of year, I want everything pumpkin and apple and cinnamon and...
To be honest, we make a banana bread here,
Yeah.
which is, I think, delicious. And I didn't have a pumpkin bread recipe as of last night.
What?
And so I just pulled one out of the hat and basically took out the banana from the banana bread, substituted pumpkin, took out the chocolate, and added some of these like traditional holiday spices like nutmeg, ginger, clove.
Yum.
And so we're gonna see how it turns out. I think it'll be good. You could see it on the menu, like, you know, whatever, in a couple days if it works out. So let's make some pumpkin bread.
Yeah.
First ingredient, pumpkin puree. This is just organic canned pumpkin puree.
Yep.
And this is considered a quick bread, so no sourdough, no yeast. It's super easy.
Okay.
Once it's mixed, it's ready to go in the pan and bake.
We could all do it, is what you're saying.
Anybody could do this. If I could do it, especially, anybody could do it. Next, we've got creme fraiche. If you don't have that, you can use cultured yogurt, vanilla extract, the good stuff, Madagascar bourbon, organic cane sugar, eggs, organic from Chino Valley, canola oil.
Tell me about spelt.
So spelt is similar to wheat.
Okay.
The gluten is a little bit, so this is spelt here, whole spelt, whole grain spelt. The gluten is softer than wheat. And for me, the flavor is more pronounced than wheat as well. And so it's kind of good all around. This is just sea salt. Some people who have difficulties digesting wheat may want to try spelt. It may be easier to digest. Rye as well. We've got baking soda, baking powder, some walnuts, toasted walnuts, cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, and clove.
Beautiful. It
Okay.
smells amazing.
Smells like the holidays.
It does.
So once that's in there, just mix it all together.
Yeah.
Once it's totally homogeneous, it's done, and it can go in the pan. So we've got oiled pan right here, and of course, face the camera. We want to go in just with our mixture like this. It should be super runny. That's going to make for a nice moist bread. If it's stiff, then it may come out a little bit dry.
Yeah.
So that was the mix, super easy.
I mean, that really is doable.
And this thing it'll rise up. You want it to be like about an inch above the rim.
Yeah.
Once you pull it out of the oven.
Yeah.
That means it's a good amount for the pan. And yeah, that's what it looks like
That
afterwards.
is perfection.
Yeah. Would you like to try some?
I would love to try some.
Help yourself.
Really?
Get in there.
You do thick slices too.
Yeah. I'd say like about an inch is a good thickness for this. But it should be moist, delicious.
Oh my gosh, Zach, it is so moist. For a first try with the pumpkin bread, you nailed it. You were so much fun.
Thank
I
you.
love
Thanks for being here.
bread.
Thank you.
And I think this holiday season, whatever loaf you prefer, you got to come in and check it out, right?
Yeah, now I've committed myself to it, right?
I know. Get it while they're hot. Thanks, Zach.
Okay, thank you guys. Thanks for coming. Thank you.
Clark Street Bakery is the real deal, and Zach just opened his 4th location in Brentwood. And let me just tell you, that pumpkin bread Zach sent me home with didn't quite make it home. Coming up, Levi and I are getting crafty for Halloween. We're creating a spooky snack that comes together in no time. But first, I'm making a classic patty melt with apple slaw. That's coming up next. This time of year, comfort food just hits the spot, so I'm making you one of my favorites. It's a grilled cheesy patty melt. Take a look.
I hate to start this segment crying, but I cannot chop onions without tearing up. So I went ahead and did it before I joined you guys, because you don't want to watch me bawl my eyes out here. But I have 2 sweet onions, white onions, whatever you want to use, because we're gonna make, the onion is the star of this show, a patty melt. A patty melt is a cheeseburger with lots of grilled onions on rye bread, toasted. So good. And then I'm gonna make a red cabbage fall slaw with some apple. And I have to get the onions in the pan because I am crying my eyes out over here. Now for our patties. So I have ground beef, and I like to do 80-20 for hamburgers so it has some fat, because otherwise they're kind of dry. And usually I don't do this, but I'm gonna add some seasoning before I cook up my burgers. Some Worcestershire and a couple of cloves of garlic. Halloween is on a Saturday this year. I thought this would be the perfect, fun, cozy meal to have patty melts and my fall slaw. So we've got 3 cloves of garlic, and then I use a fork to mix ground beef because you don't want to smush it. You want it to stay fluffy. And now we're gonna make 4 patties, I think, out of this amount. Okay. I'm gonna actually make these a little odd in shape because my bread, my rye bread, is longer. So I might make them a little longer than wide. So on to my fall slaw. We eat red cabbage all the time. And I heard about a recipe that had apple in the slaw. And I thought that's perfect for this time of year and kind of a nice thing if you're having a kind of a heavy cheeseburger to have a fresh side to go with it. Although I would love French fries, so that's not a bad idea either. But got my red cabbage, cut it in half, and then I like to take the core out. It's tough. I'm gonna cut that, this is a big cabbage, so I'm gonna cut it into quarters, and then as thin as you can. Cabbage is done. So a whole head of red cabbage going in. I'm gonna add some apple slices. So I love Honeycrisp, that's my favorite apple. I like the tart, so I would go for more of a tart crisp apple in this, and then you just wanna do really thin slices. Let's combine our cabbage and our apples. We're gonna make our dressing, and I'm just gonna pour it in there. Good olive oil, extra virgin olive oil. This is where you use the good stuff. And apple cider vinegar, some agave, just to give it a little sweetness, a very big pinch of salt, because it does take quite a bit of salt and some pepper. Mix that up. A little bit of garlic powder. To add the crunch, I've got some pumpkin seeds. And pumpkin seeds are so good when they're toasted. So I'm gonna take a dry pan and toast a good amount of pumpkin seeds, maybe a 1/4 cup. And to that, some parsley, just to add a little green. Okay guys, our onions looking really good. It smells so good in the kitchen. Now I'm gonna do the burgers. I'm gonna use my cast iron. I love it for burgers because it's seasoned, meaning that something about the pan, because you season a cast iron pan, it adds so much flavor to meat, pretty much anything you cook. So burgers going in, pretty high heat. Because we didn't salt the meat, I'm gonna salt and pepper. I'm gonna cover with tin foil so we don't make a massive mess. While that's going on, I've got my griddle. I'm gonna heat up and make the grilled cheese for our patty melt. We got my bread, and to cheat with it, you know how the butter's hard and you try to put it on the bread? Forget it. I just add the butter straight to a hot griddle and then put the bread on top. The traditional cheese for a patty melt is Swiss cheese. I kind of have a mix. I have a little bit of Swiss, I have some cheddar. I kind of forgot to get more Swiss cheese. So it really doesn't matter. Any cheese is gonna be absolutely delicious. Second piece of bread goes on, and you're gonna get these nice and toasted. Oh, look at those bad boys. I'm going to make our burgers since I'm here. Onions are done. Let the cheese melt everybody together. Our patty melts are off the griddle. The cheese is melting. I'm just gonna let them hang out for 1 second, and I'm gonna make a topping. For our patty melts, I'm gonna make some Thousand Island dressing, which to me is just mayo, ketchup, almost equal parts, and pickle. Chop it up. I think 1 pickle is plenty. You stir it up, and you've got Thousand Island dressing. Everything's still melted and hot, and I'm gonna put, I don't want to put this on when it's on the griddle, but once it comes off, you better believe it. So here's what I would do. I would cut this guy. If you guys are all about the messy burger, you're gonna love the patty melt. And then our red cabbage slaw with our toasted pumpkin seeds and apple and parsley, and it's tangy and crunchy. The perfect side. You can't let these guys sit around. You have to go in. Oh my, it's so gooey. It tastes like French onion soup, but on a burger. So good. Perfect dinner on Halloween night.
Oh, I forgot how much I love patty melts, and that fall spin on the slaw was so good. For the recipe, check us out on Instagram at KTLA California Cooking. Coming up, Levi and I are getting into the Halloween spirit by creating a really cool spider web snack. That's coming up. Halloween's gonna look a little different this year, but that doesn't mean you can get crafty with food and decorations. So Levi and I decided to make a fun snack, and it's super easy. Take a look. Levi, what's our favorite holiday?
Halloween.
Halloween is almost here. I can't believe it. What are you gonna be this year?
I can't believe it.
I know.
An astronaut.
An astronaut? We're big into astronauts. What should mommy be then?
Astronaut.
Okay, we could both be astronauts. I mean, I don't know if, you know, what we're gonna do this Halloween. It'll be a little different, but that doesn't mean we still can't do fun stuff at home, right?
Yeah.
So you know what I'm gonna make with you today?
What?
I saw this really cool thing where you take these little pretzel sticks, right? And you make this spider web, and it involves a little white chocolate. This recipe, Levi,
yes.
all it takes is the microwave and like 30 seconds. That's it. So will you make this shape for me? If I pour out some pretzels, will you make that shape and mommy will melt some of the chocolate? So there's two ways you could do regular white chocolate chips, but the thing about white chocolate chips, they are a little tricky to melt because they stiffen up really quickly. Or you could do this, which is a little easier. This you can get at a baking supply store. I got this at Michael's.
Whatever I want.
And it's called Meltables, and they're so, and they come in a bunch of colors. You could get orange or black. I got white, and they're really easy to melt, and they don't get stiff like white chocolate chips. You keep doing your design, and I'm gonna melt these. You and I will have 2 trays. So here's some pretzels. Let's make our design. I'll pour out some pretzels.
Yeah, I got more than
Okay,
you.
let's make a design. Let's see who could do it first.
Look what I'm making. I'm making a pie.
I don't, that does not look like a spider web.
Okay,
I don't know.
Start again.
Oh, okay, been a minute. Now they say, look at that.
I want to stir it. Oh.
I know, I'll let you stir the second time because I gotta put it back in. Give it a stir, and then it says, I think, another 30 seconds and we're done. All right, let me pop that back in. See how I did this one over here? 2, 3.
I don't want to make a spider web.
What do you want to make?
I want to make a tent.
A tent? Okay, we could do that. You could freestyle it. It's melted. Look at how nice. A minute and a half, and we're ready. I have a little squirt bottle because I think if you drizzle, it would work, but this might be more fun. What do you think?
I want to do it.
Okay, well, let me see if it works. Okay, I've got a better idea. I'm gonna skip that step. Okay. Wait. You guys, I don't know. Something's not working. Cameraman Adrian, so smart, because his mom used to do it this way. Ziploc bag.
Put it in a cup.
Put it in a cup so it stabilizes. Hold the cup. You ready, Levi? But you know what you get to do?
What?
You get to like that.
Is it hot?
No, it's warm. Ziploc. Just a little cut. Oh, I got like a dual situation happening.
This is
Oh yeah. What shape are you gonna do?
This is my shape. I made this.
Okay, it's not a cobweb, but here you go.
Wanna give it a try?
I made a grill.
Okay. You made a grill.
That looks
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
I love it. So, we're done. And now I think put these in the fridge. You could probably even put them in the freezer for a little bit. Look at these fun little plastic. These are those spider rings I got at the Halloween store. So I'm just cutting off the ring part because I show you what we're gonna do. This is part of the fun. We're gonna decorate. I think our spider webs are done. It was only in there like 5 minutes. You wanna see?
Yeah.
One set of spider webs. And Levi, this is your spider web, and what was that again?
A grill.
A grill, yeah. So you grab your grill, and I'm gonna peel.
And look at my.
Look how cute!
And look at mine.
Oh my gosh, this literally took 5 minutes to make. This is the cutest little treat. I have this black cake stand that I use every Halloween. It was the best investment because I bought it years ago and I always use it around this time of year. So I think this will make these look awesome. This is the fun part too. Can you stick some spiders on here for me? Oh, this is so fun. Do you have,
Mine.
I love yours. Our pretzel spider webs, good job. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Such a fun and easy activity with the kids, and it's yummy too. That does it for us. We'll see you guys next week.
Oh gosh, okay. I just got it on my elbow.
Look what I'm making. Yeah, I'm making a bottle.
Can I have a bite of yours?
No, it's not ready yet. It's not ready.
Okay, I'll wait.